We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck roll that they can.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain. On the play, and it's 2nd down. Now Foreman. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Taylor. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll run it here. Down right around the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last two drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. He'll drop to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play for the Cowboys on third. 42 yards. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, watch it now, Barney.
Here's Foreman, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking, but you got it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times, it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, You got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat.
And got his man complete. Give him 30 yards there. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo. Carter.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll look to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. Yeah,
it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. They'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. In for the score. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned that they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure If something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Not time enough for a play and then a timeout, you wouldn't think. So with 4 seconds left, they're going for it. Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Detroit!
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
He's going to float this, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. They'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Points the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you want to be known as dependable to your quarterback, that's what you have to do. Go into the middle of the field, know the hit is coming, and catch the football. And that's exactly what he just got done.
And defensively, a little deflating to be able to lay that hit and not have the ball pop free, right?
No doubt about it, because your goal defensively, knock it free so that they say, okay, guess what? We're not going to throw it in there anymore. Now, they'll still continue to be aggressive. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And this This time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
They have, by the way, gone to the 3rd quarter now at Ford Field in Detroit. The Lions have scored again, widening their lead even further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On play action, they'll throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Wide open receiver complete. 30, the 20, 10, touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there, 82 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches a football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having. Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So very late in the game here, but with that score, some light at the end of the tunnel.
There's still hope. Now they look at the score and say, hold on a second. This thing's not over yet. Let's keep battling.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you. And a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end,
Still
holding.
2nd down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Flushed out right. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Detroit!
They'll run here with Pumphrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run again with Pumphrey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will have the lead if they can hit the PAT. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. Open man is Uzama. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He's back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. New England on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
Green, 39.
Back to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in. To throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Got to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, here we go.
And the blitz does come. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, You think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
The D for the Pats. The Patriots heading back onto the field now. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range? Because a field goal would win it.
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that...
That's caught inside the 20. A big play here for Dallas. 59 yards.
Brandon, that tackle right there, that might have just saved the ball game.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Pats, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.
You